Hello, everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's.
From Anna and I, our Self Care Doula, and me, Sandy. We are the People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers, midweek reset hostesses with the mostesses. Today, in my drink, I just wanted to let everybody know I am having this pretty cool, it's called Chill Functional Mushroom Lychee Passion Fruit Bubbly Drink.
Ooh.
And these are available at Bliss. Just so everybody knows, we have more going on here than just CBD. And yeah, so I have to admit, I did a half and half. I mixed it with Sprite. Right? I'm trying to come up with some ideas for mocktails.
That's good.
For our Friday night groups, which is always alcohol free, I am calling in this year some more non-alcoholic beverage ideas that we can be serving up at the chapel. And this Friday night, guys, so actually, if you guys joined us last week, you'll remember we were up in Maine and we were like so blissed out and we were like holding space for one another. Well, what ended up happening was we were literally hanging from the rafters for a hot minute trying to do pull-ups and chin-ups and showing off, to our children about how like strong us mamas are. But then the piano bench came crashing down on me, we little 14. So, my back was sore. It still kind of is, but now my foot also is. But this is why I am so blessed to have a yoga therapist. It's like job security, Anna. I tell my staff all the time, I'm like, it takes a village to manage this one over here. So my yoga practice today is I'm going to have to ask you not to do too many balancing poses or anything like that, but I will heal and I will be fine. And I'm so blessed to have the support of all of the healers in my community to keep this train rolling. When my back hurts, when my foot hurts. I want to say my neck, my back, sorry. So this Friday night, along with these other elixirs, I'm going to make a special hot chocolate for our magic wand crystal wrapping with Stephanie. The following Friday, so we are getting our integrated practices group back up and running. We did take a couple of weeks off just because we needed a couple weeks off, right? Mm-hmm. We all had families. We were all doing Christmas. You all know what we were doing. But a week from this Friday is going to be an offering from you and Sarah.
Yes.
Which will be about the yamas.
And niyamas. So, which I brought the book here. So, Sarah and I, who you met last week too, beautiful Sarah, are doing I don't know, call it like it's like a book club, but it's all about the yamas and the niyamas. So we're going to be, every time we get together on a Friday where it's our turn, Sarah and I are doing this, collaborating together on this, is to teach everyone about the yamas and the niyamas, because yoga isn't just about postures, it's a whole lot more. And the yamas and the niyamas are basically the ethics that we live by through this practice. Because asana just opens up the door to so many different things that we were never really aware of. So that's why I brought my book, because I wanted to touch in on that. And
I like that it's not too intimidating.
It's not
a big book. So it's our first attempt at starting a book club here at PCSA. I'm actually so excited about this because I've been talking about how I'm in school to be a yoga teacher, and you ladies are really helping to support me staying on this path, because it's really hard with me with ADHD to actually get through reading a book. I'm not going to lie. I do a lot of audiobooks these days, or how I like to call them, books on tape, which my kids make fun of me for saying, so that's fine. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. So what I think I'm going to offer to do is I'm going to purchase, or the church is going to purchase 10 of these.
Awesome.
To have available to hand out. So we're going to, this is going to be a church-sponsored book club, guys, because it is kind of like self-serving. As the high priestess, this is information that I want to understand, because my intention is to really be a non-denominational, benevolent charity that honors all of the religions of the world and all of the philosophies of the world. And, as a community, we can kind of decide, what we want to kind of, hone in on and what serves us, because everybody's different. And so I'm really excited about this.
It's very exciting because once you tap into the knowledge of these insightful practices, it's like, a whole new world opens. And as we know, yoga is an eightfold path, and asana is only one part of it. So I wanted to read off, first and foremost, what the yamas and the niyamas are. And you can stay here with me.
Yeah, I'm just putting my slipper back on because my little sore foot is cold.
So, welcome to Yoga with Anna, the midweek reset. And where we explore lots of different things, and I usually have a blurb at the beginning of our movement class. And so today's blurb is all about what we're going to be getting into in the next few months, because we're really going to give ourselves time to get to know these, the yamas and the niyamas, what they are, how they reflect into our lives, and really how to self-reflect and how we can apply these practices. So this book is really cool because it also simplifies and gives personal stories according to each one so that we can relate to each yama and niyama. So first I wanted to briefly read about what they are. So the yamas and niyamas are foundational to all yogic thought. Yoga is a sophisticated system that extends far beyond doing yoga postures. It is literally a way of living. Yoga is designed to bring you more and more awareness of not only your body, but also your thoughts. The teachings are practical step-by-step methodology that bring understanding to your experience, while at the same time pointing the way to the next experience. They are like a detailed map telling you where you are and how to look for the next landmark. They facilitate taking ownership of your life and directing it towards the fulfillment that you seek, which is all about what we are here, really.
Sounds like manifesting.
Mm-hmm. So the yamas and niyamas are ahimsa, which I'm sure you've heard. Some of these I've talked about before, so some of these will sound familiar. Ahimsa is nonviolence, and it's where we find our courage, creating balance, dealing with powerlessness, self-love, violence to others, developing compassion, and then at the end there's a questions of exploration at the end of each chapter. The second is satya, truthfulness. That is to be real rather than nice, which I like how they put that. Self-expression versus self-indulgence. The need to belong versus the need to grow. Do it right the first time. Truth is fluid. Truth has weight. The power of truth. And then, of course, the exploration. So I won't go through all of the readings. So ahimsa, nonviolence. Satya, so you'll have to come to learn more. Satya, truthfulness. Asteya, non-stealing. Brahmacharya, non-excess. Aparigraha, non-possessiveness. Saucha, purity. Santosha, contentment. Tapas, self-discipline. Svidhyaya, self-study. And their last one is Ishvara Pranidhana, surrender. So non-violence, truthfulness, non-stealing, non-excess, non-possessiveness, purity, contentment, self-discipline, self-study, and surrender.
Seems like it's teaching you how to go with the flow.
Yes.
Am I wrong?
No. It really is, it teaches you how to observe where you are in your life. For example, when I began my studies, like non-stealing, asteya. I always think of this as a really good example because I never thought of time as being something to steal. But it actually, when, for example, you say, oh, I'll be right back, and somebody's, let's say, babysitting or something like that, and, I'll set an example. Grandma's watching my child, and I say I'm going to be home at a specific hour, and in my whatever I'm doing, I'm like, I can go in another 30. I can wait another 30 minutes. She's there without calling. It's okay. And yeah, it is okay. But the reality is that I'm stealing 30 minutes of her time. And I never really thought about it that way. So that made me really aware of how we relate into the things that we do, the time that we spend, and the time we share with others, and being respectful of other people's time. I never really thought about that.
Sounds like you can bring up a conversation about boundaries.
Yeah, so
Right?
so just, like little things, and seems like it's little things that we take advantage, take for granted.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. Okay, so I'm going to sponsor 10 of you all to come down and study the yamas and niyamas. Again, this is all kind of new. I'm like a baby yoga student. I'm like 30 hours in. She's 900 hours trained. So this is why you can trust her and Sarah. Sarah's been also teaching yoga for
over, I think,
like 2 decades practically.
Yeah,
like her whole entire adult life. Whereas something like that I have noticed, I used to do yoga. Now I am practicing yoga. And it's like a big difference, right? Like I looked at yoga more like going to the gym, like I know it's good for me, like doctor says to do it, like my friends are doing it. Maybe I wanted to support my friends who were teachers. So I wanted to go do their yoga class, you know what I mean? But now the shift has been I am practicing yoga. So I'm excited to practice the yamas with you because it seems more like the philosophy is another tool to calm our central nervous system, which is another thing that we always talk about here at the church, like how to stay chill, which is looking funny because that's the name of this drink, also chill. I am going to hobble over, Anna, to my mat and let you take it away as we enjoy this practice with you. Thank you so much for showing up every week like you do.
How do you feel when you are in a tabletop position with your foot flat?
I'm okay in tabletop.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So,
Thanks for asking.
yeah, I know the bruises on top. So, as Sandy said, these guides that are thousands and thousands of years old. These aren't brand new. Isn't it amazing that these have been written in ancient scriptures of the practice, and they're really the best practices. I came from corporate, so there's always best practices. You have to have a base of best practices, really, because that's really the ethics, of how we live our lives and how we interact with others and our environment. And it's really important. So, once you get through this book, you're never going to regret it. It really is an amazing book.
So go to our newsletter, right? How do people find out about our events, Anna?
So, in order to find out about our events and sign up and RSVP, 10 people, you go to pcsam.org to our website under the events page. And under the main page, you'll find a lot of great information, but on the events page, you'll also find all the calendar events that are scheduled for the next quarter or so. And you'll find Matt there, you'll find Sarah, you'll find events like the Wand, the Creating Wand, and Soul Saturday, of course, and Soul Saturday. So every Friday we'll have something, and of course there's always Soul Saturday where we come together and celebrate and congregate around music, which is another one of our beautiful sacraments and also important to our healing because music heals.
Yes.
So I am so proud to be a part of this organization because it has really enriched my life, and as we enrich our lives, we enrich the lives of others. And the support that Sandy provides and our community provides and towards each other is really a forklift. When we feel really down, we all forklift each other up. So I really love that. So Yamas and Niyamas, it's coming. Let's do it together. It's going to be amazing. You're going to learn so much about the practice and about yourselves. And most important.
And we're not going to cap it at 10. If you want to buy the book, buy the book. I'm just going to buy 10, assuming that some people aren't going to buy the book.
It's an awesome investment. I mean, as the years go by, look at all the placeholders and notes that I have.
How long have you been studying that book?
Since my 200 hour. So
Oh, wow.
I've been studying this book since 2018.
Wow.
Yeah. And yeah, there's notes all scribbled in here. You're going to love it, I promise. And if you don't, come talk to me. All right, so let's sit up nice and tall. And I want to also wish everyone a happy new year and a welcome back. It was a really nice break. And I also want to acknowledge those of us who have also been struggling through the break. You know, there's things that happen and that don't always make it easy for us through the holidays. So acknowledging those and sending love to those who need it, always from my heart to yours. So let's come into our breath and go inward by softening our gaze or closing our eyes. And by inward, I mean coming into our bodies. Sometimes that may be a little challenging, and our anchor here is our breath. Part of the process of tapping into yourself is acknowledging the thoughts that will come in to distract you, and then coming back to your breath. Nice deep inhales as you begin to lengthen the breath in and out the nose. And of course, if you feel like taking a big sigh, by all means, taking a nice deep breath in, and sighing it out. Let's bring the awareness to our hands as well, noticing how they feel on our lap. If you're feeling ungrounded, a little all over the place, you can't stop thinking about your to-do list. Bring your hands, palms down to ground in. Let Mother Earth ground you in. Bring you back to yourself with your breath so that you can root in. So the energy draws in through the palms, through the base of the spine, rooting you in to Mother Earth. Of course, if you are in a place of receiving, palms up on your lap to receive the energy that you're drawing in. And of course, you're always invited into a Gyan Mudra with the index fingers and thumbs touching, 3 additional fingers extended, lightly resting palm up on your lap. Allowing the breath to ebb and flow. Allowing your thoughts to calm. Notice where you might be holding some tension in the body and breathing into those spaces, loosening up the body. Maybe your shoulders feel tight. Just gently loosening them, lowering them away from the ears. Now I'm going to invite you to set an intention for your practice or tap into your Sankalpa. We talked about Sankalpas in the past few weeks that are a little bit more deep, a little deeper than intentions. But remember that it's always your intentions that drive your actions, and it's these intentions we carry through our practice and take with us once we are off our mats. Nice deep breath in. Exhale out. Swallowing at the back of our throats. Bringing our hands to our heart center to greet each other, bowing our heads, namaste, and good afternoon. All right, hands draw up to the sky, reach up, stretch up, exhale, press everything away. And I don't need my glasses for practice. Inhale, palms rise, palms touch, palms come back to heart. Press the palms firmly together. Feel those scapulas reach towards each other. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, press everything away. Fingertips ground. Lengthen through the crown, pull the navel in. Ground that left hand in. Right arm comes over. Reach through the fingertips. And then switch sides. Nice deep breath as the left arm comes over. And a nice slow exhale, gently reaching back. Inhale, both arms up. Let's interlace the fingers, flip the palms, gently reaching up towards the sky. Lengthen and wiggle the rib cage side to side. Lower the arms in front of you, release the bind, hands expand. So let's stretch out those texting fingers and then nice tight fist. Extend those fingers. Tight fist, extend, tight fist, extend, tight fist. Relax the grip and then gently roll the wrists in a circular and then shake those hands out. All right, so let's move our body a little bit, hands on the lap as we begin to circle, moving the energy around. Notice your grounding sits bones and how the weight shifts from side to side as you go around. Grounding more than just your sits bones. And then take it in the opposite direction when you're ready. And then come to center. A nice deep breath in as you lengthen through the spine. Take the chest forward. So heart shifts forward on the inhale, shoulders back, gazing up. Exhale as we come into cat pose, rounding in, chin to chest. Inhale, lead with the heart. Press the heart forward, gazing up. Exhale, round in. Let's do a few of these just to warm up the spine in a sitting position. And then gently coming back to center when you're ready. Let's take that left ear to the left shoulder. I'm coming back from mirror teaching. And then bring the head back to center, right ear to right shoulder. Head comes back to center. Let's take the chin to the chest. A little throat lock here to stimulate the throat chakra for clear communication. With your chin to chest, take the arms down towards the ground. Reach back, walk those arms back. Open the chest as you deeply take that chin a little bit closer to the chest. Gaze comes back to center, walking the hands back to your side. And let's come into a butterfly position. Soles of the feet together. You guys keeping up with your foot massages? I hope so. All right, let's flutter. Flutter the legs. And then let's take a bind, wrapping the hands around the feet, and we're going to walk our butts towards our heels. Okay. Lengthen through the crown on the in-breath. Press the legs away. Nice deep breath in again. Exhale, take a hinge. Maybe the elbows come in front of the shins. Keep the length in the spine before you round in. So settle there first. and allow yourself to get into this stretch a little bit at a time. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, taking that hinge. And then gently releasing. And releasing the bind. Knees come back up. And then let's come into our tabletop. So bring the awareness to the hands and how they stack right underneath the shoulders. It can feel like you have your arms aligned, but sometimes I see my students with their hands forward. So just make sure that the wrists are right underneath the shoulders and the knees are right underneath the hips. So one thing to keep in mind with the distance between the hands and the knees, if you have a curvature in the back already or scoliosis, because we all don't have, the perfect spines, it's going to look a little differently. But if our spine is nice and long, we're going to look like a flat tabletop. So don't fret if you have a curvature in the back, it's going to look a little bit different, and that's okay. All right, so on the in-breath, we're going to gently cat-cow here, drop the belly down, tilt the tail, take the gaze up to the sky. On the exhale, chin's going to move to chest. You're going to tuck the tail in, press the mat away as you round in. Inhale, drop the belly, tilt the tail, take the gaze up to the sky. Exhale, round in. Let's continue for a few more breaths, warming up the spine before we get into any twisting. Safety is first when it comes to movement of the body and proper alignment. And then gently coming back to neutral table. Sway your hips side to side. And then begin to rotate the hips all the way around the world. And then when you're ready, going in the opposite direction. And then coming back to center. From here, gently curl the toes under. Knees are about hip distance apart. Walk the hands towards the knees. Don't curl the toes under if that doesn't feel good, and just gently sitting on the heels of the feet. So I am taking you into hero pose, which is a curl of those toes. Sandy, don't do this. And just to gently stretch the backs of the feet, and then gently walking the hands back, feet flat. All right, so from here, let's extend that right leg back. Press through the heel. Really extending that leg, squaring the hips to the mat. Lift that back leg, toes point down. Flex the foot. Extend that left arm long. Pull the navel in. Feel the stretch in opposite directions. Arm reaching forward, leg reaching back. And then gently bring everything back. Left leg extends. Ground the toes, press through the heel. Then lift the leg, toes point down, pull the navel in, square the hips to the mat, extend that right leg long, that right arm long. Nice deep breaths. Gently bring everything back in. And then shift the hips side to side, realign yourself. And then again, extend that right leg long, toes point down, bend the knee, and this is where we're going to circle the hip. So awareness to the feet. Can you spread your toes? And it's crazy when you see, go in the opposite direction, the spreading of the toes. Extend long. And then from here, really reach back, extend that left arm again. Flip that palm, reach back. It can be just a reach or a touch of the hand to the foot or ankle. And then extend back long and bring everything back. Shift side to side. Left leg extends, right arm extends. But then bring that arm back, bend the foot, and we're going to rotate the hip. So bring that right arm back, flex the foot, rotate that left hip. Take it in the opposite direction when you're ready. And then extend long. Right arm extends, flip the palm, reach back. Remember, you don't have to take the bind, you can just reach. Then extend long again, and then come back to your tabletop. Shift the hips left and right, and then let's take the knees to the width of the mat and take a wide-legged child's pose. Let the toes touch, shift the hips back towards the heels, extend the arms long, lower the head, forehead to the mat. Nice deep breaths in, gentle massage to the forehead or third eye to stimulate the third eye chakra. Or option to just lie in stillness. Just for a moment. Take another deep breath here and let's walk the hands to the right side. Maybe that left hand layers on top of the right. And then awareness to that left hip, draw that hip towards the left heel. Walk the hands back to center. Walk them all the way over to the left side. Maybe layering that right palm onto the left. And then awareness to the right hip as it reaches towards the right heel. Walk the hands back to center. Reach those hips towards the heels. Tent the fingers, reach the wrist forward. And then from here, lift the gaze, hands walk back towards the knees. You keep a tabletop position. And then you're going to walk the hands forward, still keeping them about shoulder width apart, and then shift the hips back to a puppy pose. So you can extend those arms, take a gentle puppy pose. And then let's walk the hands back and curl the toes under, come into a down dog. Walk your dog, gazing through the ankles, biceps parallel to the ears. So watch the kink in the neck. I do it too. Sometimes I take my head too low. So keep the ears parallel to the biceps as much as you can as we open up the back body. So remember, the body follows the gaze. So press the heart towards the thighs and that gaze is going to go further through the ankles. Pull the navel in. Relax the shoulders. Turn those inner elbows towards each other. Inhale the heels high. Bend the knees. Switch the gaze between the hands and take a hover. Press back into downward facing dog. And then switch the gaze again. Walk the feet to meet the hands at the top of the mat. Forward fold. Ragdoll here. Allow the upper body to feel heavy. If your hands touch the mat and you want to take a deeper forward fold, you can step on your fingers. Otherwise, keep the upper body heavy, loosen the arms, loosen the shoulders. If you're stepping on your fingers, lengthen through the crown on the in-breath, and then bend the elbows, lower your head down, bend the elbows towards your shins, crown towards the earth, deeper forward fold. If this bind is not accessible, you can bring the arms behind you and take an elbow to elbow bind. So same thing, just different parts of the body.
How do you say this posture in Sanskrit again?
Oh my gosh, I have to go back to my book.
Okay, Pudasana.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. We're doing the forward fold, that's Uttasana.
Well, right, but then when you step on your fingers.
Oh, that's the one I gotta look up.
That's the one I gotta know for my test. So I'm putting that on my list. Yes, I love you.
All right, I'm gonna really look that up.
It's like Pudasana. It's something. It begins with P.
Woo.
Pudasana.
You're taking me back a few years. Inhale, hands on the shins, lengthen through the crown. And then let's reach right. All the way up.
Oh.
Palms touch. Palms come to heart. So yeah, through the 200 learning those Sanskrit words. Those were good times. Inhale, arms come up, reach up. Reach back, press the hips forward. Separate the hands, bring them into cactus. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, forward fold. Swan dive down. Inhale, hands on the shins, come into your half lift. Exhale, plant those palms. Step back with that right foot. We're going to go into a warrior two. Let's windmill those arms up and come to a warrior two. So parallel that back foot to the back of the mat. Strength through that back outer edge of that back foot. Arms nice and long and reaching in the opposite direction. From here, we're going to do a nice triangle shape, extending that front leg, flip that left palm, and then we're going to take that left palm all the way down towards the ankle, strength through that back outer edge of that back foot, reach that right arm nice and long towards the sky, reach high, reach back if you can, take it little by little, and then gently coming back to your triangle. Reach back for reverse warrior. And windmill the arms down. Bracket that front foot. Back foot meets the front. Forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. Flat back. Exhale, plant the palms. Left foot steps back. Pivot that left foot. Windmill the arms up. Warrior two. So that front heel is aligned with the instep of that back foot. Soft shoulders. Pulling the navel in, slightly tucking the tail, gazing over those right fingertips. Triangle, extend that front leg, reach forward, and that right palm flipping out is going to come down in front of the shin or ankle. Left arm reaches high and back. And then gently coming back to warrior two, bending that front knee, reaching back to reverse warrior. And then windmill the arms down. Bracket that front foot, back foot meets front, forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. Exhale, plant the palms, step back with both feet, modified plank or full plank. And then if you're in modified plank, you don't have to do anything. The rest of us lower the knees down, come all the way down to your belly. Cobra pose. Hands underneath the shoulders. Check your alignment. Drop one shoulder. Drop the other. Only the fingertips should be able to be seen peeking through the shoulders. Chin to the mat. Zip the legs up together. Tuck the elbows close to the body. Inhale, press 10 toes into the mat. Lift the heart. Slide the heart forward and take your cobra pose. Chin parallel to the mat. Take the gaze up to the sky to exercise the eyes. Breathe normally. Maybe rise a little bit more. Don't hold your breath. And on the exhale, lower everything down. You can rest your third eye for a moment. Or on your third eye. And then chin comes back parallel to the floor. Nice deep breath in. Press all 10 toes. Second set. Tuck the elbows. Lift the heart. Slide the heart forward. Shoulders back. And lower. Curl the toes under. Walk the hands. Uncurl the toes towards the knees. Inhale, arms up. Reach up, reach back. Exhale, take a bow. Sweep the arms back. Inhale, we're going to use our breath here. Reach back, exhale. Let it go through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Exhale. Last one. Inhale through the nose. Reach back and exhale. Take that bow. Inhale, gently reaching all the way up to the sky and floating the arms down. Hands on the hips as you take that left leg out parallel to the mat. Inhale, arms up. A gentle hinge as you lower the hands down to the mat. Walk forward, walk the hands forward, and then shift the hips back. So if you need to adjust your foot to get into that abductor, the inner thigh, you can take a bow or you can rest. You can stack your fists and rest your forehead on your fists. Relax the shoulders. Walking the foot outward as you ease into the stretch. And then from here, gently releasing. If you've removed the hands, bring them back to the mat, gently pressing yourself back up, walking the hands back, bring that leg back, extend the right leg out, walk the hands forward, and then shift the hips back. Lower down slowly at your pace to get into that inner thigh. You'll notice maybe one side feels a little tighter than the other. Ease into it. Every side is different every day. It's the fluctuation of the feminine and the masculine in our bodies. Last breath here as we take a gentle lift, walk the hands back towards us. Bring that leg back. And I'm going to just shift forward to come to our tabletop. Curl the toes under, press the hips back up. Downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Shavasana. Walk the dog. Ooh. All right, so we're going to lift that right leg high, bend the knee, and stack that hip. Breathe. Maybe taking a peek under your arm. Flex the foot if that's accessible for you to flex. And then from here, square the hips. Bring that leg back down and bring it across to the left side in front of you. So you're going to cross that right leg in front of the left, creating a little X, and then you're going to open up to the right side. Come back down, parallel the hands, come back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high, bend the knee, flex the foot, and stack that left hip over the right. Square the hips back to the mat. Extend the leg, bring that leg down and across that front leg, resting on the outside edge of that left foot, and then open up to the right side. Float that right arm back down. Bring that left leg back. Press the heart towards the thighs. And lift the heels. Bend the knees. Bring the knees all the way down. Uncurl the toes. Child's pose. All right, from here, gently shifting forward and then walking the hands back towards your knees. Shifting the hips to one side, swing the legs around, shift your bottoms to the middle of the mat. And we'll take a balancing pose this way. Boat pose. Find your sits bones and rock back and forth. So yeah, if you can't feel your sits bones, removing the flesh from the bottom. Yeah, so if you have a lot of tushy, just lift and ground in. And then gently reach forward. Feet are about hip distance apart. And find that center of balance as you rock forward and back. So as you rock forward, you're in the front of the sits bones. As you rock back, you're in the back. So the anterior and posterior movement of the hips. Find your center of balance. And then you could start on the tiptoes. You can even, if you don't feel comfortable balancing just yet, tap, tap, tap until you find that center of balance. You can keep your legs parallel, pull the navel in, shoulders back, lift the legs up higher. If that's in your practice, you want to try it. Breathe. You can bring your legs back 90 degrees over the mat and then gently lower. Hands on the front of the knees. Let's take a little rock. Watch you just walk forward a little bit so that you land on your back, on your mat. Let's rock back and rock forward. And then come to your back, squeeze in, shoulders down, tuck the chin. You're going to take a little rock. Release the bind. Hands on the knees, knee circles. Opposite direction. And of course we have to find our happy baby. Let's lift our feet up to the sky. Reach for the outsides of the feet or peace finger your toes. And gently bend the knees. Open up the hips. Tuck the chin. Rock side to side. to the sky. Release the arms down by your side. Soles of the feet towards the sky. Arms come over the head. Cactus arms. You can twirl the ankles here if that feels good. Flex and point. And then gently bend the knees, lower the soles of the feet to the mat, and arms by your side. Bridge pose. Let the heels of the feet walk towards your buttocks, and let the fingertips graze the heels. Feet are about hip distance apart. We're going to do 2 movements here at the same time. We're going to lift the hips, and the arms are going to go over our head. On a nice deep breath, reach the hips up towards the sky, arms come over the head. Nice deep breath in as the chest travels towards the chin, and on the exhale, everything comes down, lowering the arms, lowering the hips. Inhale, hips high, arms high. Exhale, lower everything down. Inhale, lift the hips, arms over the head. And then gently lower everything down. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, arms high, hips high. Exhale, lower. The last one. Everything up, hips, arms. Press the chest towards the chin. And then everything lowers down. Full body stretch. Extend the legs, arms over the head. For your full body stretch, and then take that right knee to chest. Squeeze in, tuck the elbows. Take your twist. Right knee travels to the left side of the body, and right arm extends. Take the gaze over to the right side. Inhale, come back to center. Squeeze that knee in. Extend the leg, full body stretch, and reach for that left knee to chest. Flex both feet, and then take that knee across the body to the right side. Left arm extends, gazing to the left side. Nice deep breaths. And come back to center. Full body stretch, arms over the head. And then any last movements that you would like to make, you can take your feet into butterfly, your legs into butterfly position, or you can take your legs up the wall and stay there if you'd like, or a supported legs up the wall with a block underneath your lower back. Or just allow the toes to fall open, palms facing up, maybe tucking the shoulders underneath the body as you find your stillness in your Savasana, allowing the body to fully relax and absorb this awesome practice into the body, into the mind, into the soul. Allow the legs to feel heavy, your hips to feel heavy, and your body entirely supported by the earth. Allow the eyes to fall into their sockets. Release the jaw of any tension you might be holding. Remembering this is the most important posture of all, to absorb and integrate all of the benefits of this practice so our body can repair and restore itself. You're welcome to stay there as long as you'd like, as I gently roll over to one side and press up to feel class with you. So allow yourself to stay in that nice, sweet Shavasana position. Remembering what's coming with the yamas and the niyamas, the preparation through the body, in through the body, as we apply these practices off the mat and on the mat. When you're ready, beginning to wiggle your toes and your fingers. And if you're ready to roll over to one side, taking a moment there to ground your third eye, cradle your head in a fetal position. And then when you're ready, gently pressing back up, meeting me with your hands in Anjali Mudra at the heart center. It's been such a pleasure to be here with you and practice together. Join me in bringing our prayer hands to our third eye as a reminder to think kind thoughts, to our lips to speak kind words, and to our hearts to remind us to live fully with love, joy, courage, inner strength, and grace. May our thoughts, words, and actions be heart-led and always divinely guided as I take that deep bow